more or less from the classical UV lithography. So we can distinguish from photolithography, this again UV lithography. Now we are moving on extreme UV, that is the technology that is used for the modern electronic industry. Or, for example, with X-rays, that is needed to reduce the length of the light, the wavelength of the light. I can reduce, obviously, the diffraction limit. This is why we are moving down and down up to X-rays. Obviously, if for UV lithography, a quite simple instrument is needed. This is simply the mask aligner. So, I don't know if okay. A simple mask aligner where you are positioning the mask here, the sample here, and you are exposing through these optics your sample. But the source of the light is a simple lamp, mercury vapor lamp. And but if you want to move with much lower wavelength, you have larger and larger tools that you need. For X-ray, obviously, you need a really large tool that is a synchrotron that can provide the X-rays that is needed for the lithography. And it's not the size, just the size, the problem of this, but it's obviously the cost of this. While an instrument like this, we are talking about hundreds of kilo euros, dollars. While here it's million, and this is more than 10 million, sorry. So this is the first thing that we must think when you are thinking about lithography. What is needed? Because to reduce the size of the pattern that you need, you must think that you need more time and you have higher cost for your sample. So I will speak about some of this other technology, but so in the other case, so we have technology based on the use of the focus beam, like or use electrons, ions, or particles. Then interference lithography, that is similar to photolithography. Scanning probe lithography, that deriving from other technologies such as EFN, STM. Nanoprinting, soft lithography, shadowing mask, and so on. So, in this graph, I show you how is the relationship between the resolution that you can achieve with the technique of the technology and the cost for the kit. Because this is another consideration that you must do. So yes, we have a really specialistic, we are just a specialistic workshop, but the cost of the facility for the micro nano fabrication is really higher than the cost of the synchrotron or other modern labs. Our facility, so the cost of our facility in order to have all the instruments that are the minimum instruments that are necessary to conclude your process, fabrication process, it's about 5-6 million. The single instrument generally is not really costly, except someone like EBL, but you must consider that you are needed to work in a clean room environment. You need many different steps, and every step requires a specific instrument, and the total amount of the cost of the lab is really high. Again, so this is the E-line of lithography, that's what I showed you before. Well, you can see, if I want to reduce the resolution up to nanometric size, the cost is increasing a lot. Why extreme UV is so costly? Because with this technique you can produce, you can do mass production and you can expose really large size samples. While for the other, such as all these techniques that are scanning probe or EBL, you can achieve really high resolution. As you can see, also less than atomic resolution, but you can really pattern just a small size, and they cannot be used at the moment for large mass production like extreme UV or deep UV. This is just to show what we are doing with our beamline, that is X-ray lithography beamline. X-ray lithography, in particular LIGA, that is depicts related X-ray lithography, can produce really high aspect ratio structures with nanometric resolution of the precision of your structure. It's not so used nowadays because of obviously the cost. But with this technique you can produce samples that are hard to produce in other ways, such as, for example, this is a plasmonic crystal that is made by exposing with different direction the resist to produce this symmetric structure. Because with simple UV lithography, the UV lithography is considered a 2D technique, so you can reproduce just, as I showed before, the pattern that is present on your mask, you can replicate on your thin film of photoresist. While with X-rays, you can expose bulk or really thick film of resist, that is your final sample. Another technique is are the lithography based on particles, such as electron beam lithography and ion beam lithography. This is my instrument that I passed the day in the lab using this instrument, that is the focused ion beam, that is exploiting directly the focalized ion generated by a column here to produce directly the pattern that you are in. While for EBL, so you are using technology that is pretty close to the technology that is employed with, for the SEM, that's microscopy. You are exploiting the focalized beam, electron beam, to expose the same way that I showed before with UV light, a thin film of resist to produce the pattern. With this technique, you can have the direct writing of the resist, and you can achieve really high resolution up to 10 nanometers or less nowadays. But as I told you before, it's not suitable for large samples since it's a really slow and expensive technology. And the same is for focused ion beam. In this case, you are focalizing the ions on your samples, and this way you are milling the surface of the sample to produce also deep structures with nanometric resolution. With this technology, you can achieve really good resolution, I told you, and it's very useful when you are patterning strange, let's say, samples, such as these are some examples of 3D patterning produced on top of optical fiber here. And this technology is really opening the patterning of new substrates that are not possible to patterning with other techniques, simple techniques. Again, another used technique is Nanometric lithography, that is another technique for replicating a pattern present not on the mask but in a mold. So this is to clarify what is the technology. So you have a mold with the nanostructure or microstructure, and you are replicating on the substrate by using, again, a polymeric resist. And then you're using this pattern to replicate on your substance. We have two different approaches. One is classical thermal nanoprinting technology, where you have a mold and substrate. You are heating both to reaching a temperature that is higher than Tg of the polymer that you are using as resist. And then by pressing the mold on the sample, you are simply replicating the structure that you have in the mold. Then you just cool everything, the mold and the sample, and you are releasing the mold by removing the pressure. And then you can post-process the sample by transferring the pattern on the substance. The UV anneal is not using thermoplastic polymer, but is exploiting the possibility to use curable resin. So when you are pressing at ambient temperature the mold in the resin, then you are exposing the resin with UV light. You can promote the cross-link of the resin here, and you are again replicating the structure on the mold. That you can release the mold and you obtain the final sample. This is an example of what we did by Nanometric technology for bio-application. Simply we produce the mold and then we replicate with a suitable substrate, that is PDMS, and we use the nanometric size structure present on the sample to somehow driving the differentiation of neuronal precursor and to study how the size, the shape, and the rigidity of this structure are influencing the differentiation.